Hello, Auntie.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Kan you nie hoor nie?
Kijk, Sunday.
Was it? Okay. Hello, Barry.
Hello, Betty.
Hello.
How you all?
All right. Excuse me, I'm having my ice cream.
Where's Al?
Oh, you're here.
Where's Al? Yeah.
It's so hot. What flavor, Barry?
It's homemade ice cream.
Oh, lekker.
That's even worse. That's really lekker. Because it's lekker.
Honestly,
Awesome.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hi,
and you have it with,
Betty.
you have it with
Betty.
Christmas pudding. Even better.
Woo.
Lekker.
See,
Mm. We are so jealous.
Yeah.
After that, you need the weight loss program.
Yeah.
yeah, now you put me off it.
Now enjoy it, Barry. You
I
deserve
am.
it.
Even the dogs are waiting.
Yeah.
That is us.
Hi, Auntie.
Hello, Linda. Hello, Mandy.
Hello, Linda.
Hello, Norma.
Hello, Norma.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Mandy.
Hi there. How are you, Barry?
Yeah, I'm all right, eh? Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah, all's good. I can see you, Norma.
Yeah, well, you can see a bit more of me, just not the top of my head anymore.
Good, well done.
You know, you can tell when you're aging.
What?
When you set up the laptop and the mouse is not connected, but you're moving it to hope to do something.
You must have a wireless one like mine, then it will be fun.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but when I saw the price of it, I thought, no, the Jewish came out to me and said, nah, it's all right. I used my finger instead.
I've got a sister who gave me one.
Oh, you blessed.
Oh, aren't you lucky, eh?
Mm.
You haven't
Hello,
got two
everybody.
binding John.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, John.
Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Debbie and John.
Hi, John.
How's everybody?
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Lucy, I'm so happy you're back from Kenya. Well done.
That's not a Lucy.
That's Lucy Kamala.
This is
Lucy Kamala.
Yeah.
Hi. Nice to
Hi.
see you again. Yay. Lucy Masani's downline.
Andy,
Yeah.
before we start, what happened in Changa today?
I don't know why.
Oh, I believe there was a massive accident there.
No, we have lots of accidents. No, I think there was a rescue exercise.
Someone fell down the cliff. My son went there to go and rescue them.
Yeah.
Sure. I know there was a horrific train accident too, derailment.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Hi, Linda.
I had a derailment this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I went for
What
a
happened?
10.
what did you do?
I went for a 10-kilo walk. I got 1K and fell and broke my leg.
Are you kidding?
Oh, now you die.
Oh, no.
broken.
Is it actually broken or did you badly sprain it?
I'm going for X-rays tomorrow. No, when you can hear it going click, 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 then there's something.
What happened?
No.
Oh, no. I'm
You know,
so sorry.
the sad thing about that now is no more dancing for a while. And no more acting like a
it's
hooligan.
bad news. Bad news, no dancing.
Bad.
My heart goes out to you.
But I came
Terrible.
home, I hobbled home, and I took zinc and multimin and Calmag and full motion and salmon oil and all those things. And it felt good for a while. And then at lunchtime, I took some more, and I can feel that I'm due for more. So they seem to sort of dull the pain for a while. And hopefully it will heal it fast. I don't know, we'll see.
Oh, gee.
You have to rest your leg, eh?
Probably fractured it.
Hello, Sean made it, yay!
Yay.
Hi, Sean.
Well
Hello,
done,
hello.
Sean.
Sorry, thing gives me
Oh,
grief
sure.
when I'm in a hurry. Hello,
How are you doing?
all good and you?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
Still alive and kicking.
Good,
Yeah.
So,
that's the way it should be.
We're in
Think of it
quarantine
hard
at the
enough.
Did you kick Jenny?
Not yet.
Poor Jenny.
Oh, shame, Jen. Oh, man. Okay, are we going to go? All
I'm
over
gonna
to you,
go.
Jenny.
Thanks. I'm doing, last week we did, we started the weight management program. Hope you can hear me. And we did the kickoff, the detox, which went very well. And then I'm continuing with the weight management plan of the shake and the bar and the tea. Well, not, looks like this group is such a fantastic group that nobody really needs weight loss management. So nobody's really taken the weight loss management. So I asked a couple of people to do it, and
Wasn't me, didn't it?
no, and so, but there was a little bit of a problem. So Mandy's going to tell us about the shake. We're going to start off with the shake. I'm just going out for a few minutes. Hello.
I have to go to your room, Katsuya. I'm not fighting. If you don't tell everybody, I'm going to tell the kids.
All right, go Mandy,
And now carry on.
go for it.
Okay. The Neo Life Shake is part of the weight loss program. It has high protein level, which helps with losing weight. It is plant-based, so with the result is it doesn't have fats and that in it. It's wholesome, it's a complete nutrition, and it's suggested with the weight loss plan that you do it twice a day. Now, I have done it, and it definitely does work. If you don't have a lot of weight to lose, it takes a little bit longer to do it for the weight to come down, but it definitely does come down. And if you then go to the once a day of the Nutri-Shake, you find that it helps you maintain your weight loss. Because at one stage, I was having, I had put on some weight and I just couldn't get it to come down. And as soon as I did the Neo Life Shake, it helped the weight start reducing. So with the result, it just came off. With the Nutri-Shake, it also has the glycemic response control technology, which helps minimize the fat storage and promotes fat burning. And it controls the amount of insulin that is released, so you don't have a spike in the insulin release. It's a rich source of protein. It's 18 grams per serving, and it has amino acids which produce lean muscle retention. It's a rich source of fiber, and there's 5 grams per serving. It also is very nutritious, and it also keeps you full because of the fiber content. And we are also very fortunate in that Neolife has the recipes for smoothies and that in the back office. And if you just take those and have a look at them, you can add things like fruit or vegetables to your NutriShake with some low-fat yogurt or peanut butter, and that just gives it a new, interesting twist. So life isn't ever boring if you're on Neolife NutriShake.
Awesome. Well done, Mandy. Good. Sorry, I missed the first half. My minister just heard about my awesome accident. Anyway, so Norma, can you tell us how you used to use Amitone and what it did for you?
Hi everyone. I decided, and this is going back a few years, to look at the Amitone as a means of keeping the weight down and keeping the weight and losing weight. The interesting thing about this is that, and this is what always astounds me also, in spite of the fact that I've been around for a long time, that Neolife have an amazing ability to do the research that's necessary to actually make a difference in our lives. Okay, so as far as the Amitone is concerned, it's a means of supporting muscle protein retention, mobilization, if that means anything to anybody. Muscle protein retention and fat mobilization. So essentially what it boils down to is that you're going to get rid of the fat that's built up in your body, but it also makes sure that your muscles are in peak condition, for want of better words or better explanation. And what I found when I did this, and the thing with the nice thing about this, and what encouraged me to actually do it, is that you can lose weight and slim down while you're sleeping, which is great news. Okay, you don't have to do lots of exercise, and although that exercise is good for you, and they do encourage you to do exercise. But the idea with this is that you have an early meal in the evening, 3 hours later, so you want to have a meal at probably about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And 3 hours later, you take your Amitone. You take 3 tablets of Amitone before going to sleep. And then that works while you're sleeping. And what I found when I did this, when I did the weight loss thing using the Amitone, I took measurements of everything in my body. I took my weight measurements and everything. And I found that I didn't lose that much on the scale initially, but I did lose inches. And you know, one of the things that people have a huge problem with, especially women, is this cellulite. Okay. And I must be honest, I had no signs of it at all. You know, the cellulite here, it could have sort of like had dimples in your skin, especially in your thighs. I didn't have any of that. My muscles were nice and trim and lean, okay, and I lost the weight. And within 3 months, I had gone down from 36 kgs to about 30. Can't remember exactly now, but it was about that. I wanted to lose about that much. And as I say, I didn't lose the weight on the scale initially, and I was quite concerned about that, but I was measuring myself all the time, around my arms, around my chest, around my legs. I measured all over, all the different parts of my body. And I definitely lost inches far sooner than I lost the weight. But I did lose the weight. And the nice thing about this is that if you stay on the diet, if you stay on the NutriShake or the NeoShake and the supplements, and you be careful about what you eat, make sure that there's lots of fruit and veg in the diet, not a lot of bread. I kind of went off the bread almost completely. Today I have very little bread. I might have a slice every now and again, but not very much. And stay away from the junk food. And it really does make a difference, because for months, and in fact for years, I actually was able to maintain that weight and that firmness of the muscles. Probably due for another dose of Anytone right now. But I think age has something to do with that now. But certainly, the Anytone is an amazing, absolutely amazing product. It has got amino acids in it, but specific amino acids, and it's pumped up by or supported by things like valerian and chickweed, and yeah, Neolife have done the research that's required to make sure that what they say you get at the end of the day. So they have put together products or substances that actually will allow you to burn up the fat, and to trim and slim your muscles, or to tone your muscles, so that you've got really well toned muscles. So and it works while you're sleeping, which is amazing, absolutely fabulous. Exercise obviously does help, and exercise is good for you anyway. So, you know, boost it with a little bit of exercise. You don't have to go over the top about it. I certainly didn't. I did some exercise, but not a hell of a lot. And I certainly did lose the weight and trim down and slim down, which was fabulous. So I can recommend it for anyone who's wanting to have a firmer, trimmer body and to lose the weight. That's my story.
Thank you, Norma. Wow, that's very good. Thank you. Yeah, our weight loss program is not a quick fix diet. All those funny diets that you always go on, they always, you lose weight, but as soon as you finish the diet, then you just crave for those foods and you start piling it back on again. So that is not a very good thing. I made notes somewhere. So who has used the Neolife tea before? Anybody use the tea?
Yes.
I think Sean also loves the tea.
When I was doing the park runs, I was using the Neolife tea, and I found that gave me the energy to keep going and not feel. I mean, although I always had water and stuff with me when I did the walk, I found that the tea actually just gave me a little bit of extra energy to walk a little bit further and walk a little bit faster. And I found it really stunning when I was doing the park runs.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm not doing that, so I stopped doing the tea as well.
I use the tea, but obviously not for weight loss. I use the tea when traveling. So when going to Bloem, during Bloem sessions, even going through to Durban and then having to sit through sessions over there, I find it just gives me that extra bit of energy, the boost to stay awake while driving and to stay focused throughout all the lectures and things. So from that perspective, it works really, really well. So I don't have the tea on a daily basis, but I do when I'm running around like that, doing a lot of driving, that's when I use it. Sometimes during busy December calls, I will have the tea with me as well, because I find that keeps me going during the day. Fortunately, this last Christmas through various reasons, was not that busy. And then obviously New Year, I wasn't doing anything. So I didn't use any of the tea at that time. But yeah, for me, it just gives you a little bit of, it takes the edge off, for want of any better terminology. And I find it gives you that little bit of energy, but it's not that hype energy that a lot of caffeinated things will do. And it doesn't just drop you suddenly, either like a sugar spike and then drop. It just keeps you going that much better. That's my experience anyway.
When I take the tea for traveling, if I leave here in Stutterham at 4:30 in the morning and I travel up to my son in Limpopo, I hit Joburg 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I get to him at about 6:30 in the evening. There's still a little bit in my bottle. If he had have said at that time, Mom, let's go dancing, I will be fine. I'll be fine. In fact, the one time it was my mom and I coming back from Limpopo, and I was sipping my tea, forgetting that she's not using the tea, and we get to Bloemfontein, and she says, aren't you going to eat? I said, but we just had breakfast, which was like 2 hours before. So we stopped and she had a few snacks, but the tea had kept me so full and hydrated that I didn't need to stop to eat and drink. And I know there's a story from a lorry driver. He asked, does this thing lose weight? Because he used to stay awake, like I used to stay awake driving ambulances, but he stays awake on the lorry with eating hamburgers and sweets and drinking Coke and all those things to stay awake, and Red Bulls and Blue Bulls and all those funny things. And then he was introduced to the tea, and he said, wow, he's losing weight. But he's losing weight because it does help with the metabolism, keeps you full, so therefore he wasn't craving other things to drink and nibble on the way. And he lost weight because he was drinking tea all the way. So our market is the taxi drivers, the lorry drivers, the long haulers. They can use their tea quite happily because it's all natural. Because each convenient stick contains our exclusive tea blend of green, black, and white tea, as well as our exclusive blend of ginseng and a big word, codonopsis and whatever. I can't even pronounce these words. But it contains all the right things, so it works. We don't have to know those big words, and we can have it hot or cold. And the nice thing is you can infuse mint or lemon or strawberries or kiwi fruit or anything into it, and so you can change the flavor every day, and it makes it nice. I like to add a little bit of raw honey in it, and it really keeps me going.
Honey is nice.
Okay,
how much honey do you put in?
Hello?
Vinny?
Yes.
How much honey do you put in?
I don't know, I just squeeze, like a teaspoon.
Okay.
Oh, probably about, depends on how big the mug is too.
Well, we have lemon in our tea.
Yeah, no, the tea is good. And the tea is the thing that brought me out of my COVID tiredness. I was so tired. And after 2 weeks, I was sick and tired of being tired. So I had my tea. And that's what pushed me back up to normal. I wasn't that exhausted anymore with the tea. So it really did help. The other
Can
one,
I just say something?
yes, Linda, go.
Carry on. You were busy.
No,
I didn't want to interrupt.
I was going to carry
Okay,
on.
now I just want to say something about the tea. I never felt I needed it, but when it came out, I bought a box. And I used it one day and I think, oh, well, I have energy, so leave it. So at training, I started dishing it out. Everybody wants to know how it is. So, but I kept 1 or 2 packets, and 2.5 years ago, I went up to Northwest to get my new car. But going up, I went with my son-in-law and my daughter with the 2 cars, my car and their car. They came to fetch me. They're so wonderful. And when I came back, I was on my own, although my youngest daughter was also with me. But we had very long challenges on the road. It was horrible. It was a road trip for about 12 hours from Northwest down. The last 3 hours Rallian took over, but for the first 9 hours I drove. But I learned from Guy Viljoen. Many years ago, I went with her to Bloemfontein, and she was sipping on the tea all the time. And I happened to have these 2 little packets, but I used one and I put it in a 5 ml bottle. when I came back. And I was sipping on this now and then. And usually I get sleepy behind the wheel all my life. 2 hours and I want to sleep. And I never got tired. And I put it down to that tea. It was very stressful, the road trip, and there was road closures round and round. It was horrible. But when we finally came after 9 hours only, we came to Tugela Tour Plaza. Can you imagine that? I was still not tired, but Arlene insisted on taking over. So that was this New Life tea. So I think when you really need stamina for something, it is wonderful. And I can see why it actually helps students. There was a study in America that of students, many of you might have seen it a couple of years ago. So yeah, that was quite amazing. I had to share it. Sorry, it's got nothing to do with the weight loss.
No, but it's good. I sell it by the sachet to the guards on duty. When the guards here, twice, the guard had to go a double shift, and they drink the score stuff. And I said to them, come and have some of my score. So I sold them the sachet, and I made it into a bottle, and I gave them 2 500ml bottles, put some honey in, and the next night duty that they went through double shift, they came and bought another one, and they said, please give me some of that special drink of it. They often buy tree and in as well. But the tea, they saw that they could stay focused on a double shift, and they were fine with the tea. So that's I love the tea. I often use it. And I have to lose weight, but I don't drink it for losing weight. Okay, the other one that we do that I want part of the weight loss program is the Near Life bar. I don't have it in stock. I bought one box once, but I don't buy it. But when you do a demonstration for your shake parties, you should have a bar. And what I did at one of my shake parties, I had a bar and I cut it up into finger-sized pieces, and I gave everybody a piece to chew. They were so full when they went home after having a little tot of tea, a little tot of shake, and a little piece of bar, that they said they made supper for their husbands, but they couldn't eat. They were so full by just having those 3 little things. And the bar's nice because you chew and you chew and you chew and you chew and there's everything in it. Who else has the bar?
Yeah. Very nice.
Very, very nice. I've just used it for because to try it.
I know when we go to Bloem, a bar and a shake, and that's our meal. Finished, flat, and it's so nice. We can take it with us.
Now I'm making my own bars.
Good.
No, it was just interesting. But I struggle to get it 100% right. But I've tried 3 times. I'm getting better and better. When I have time over the weekend. Don't usually have time for playing.
Right. I've got a little write-up here that says the Near Life bar is a delicious, nutritious, all natural way to satisfy your hunger. It's the anytime snack that's great for the whole family. Healthy snacking can keep your appetite in check, increasing your chance for success while on a weight loss management program. The weight loss program shows that you must have the Pro Vitality and a shake in the morning. Then at tea time, you have a bar and a cup of tea. And then lunchtime, you have whatever, another shake. And then afternoon, you have another cup of tea and a bar. And that's a bit expensive. So I've often told folks, take a bar and make finger cuts on the bar so that you have one little finger slice with your breakfast, your shake and your Pro Vitality and your little shake, your little piece of bar. Then you have a tea time, a cup of tea and a piece of bar. At lunchtime, you have another shake and another piece of bar. And afternoon tea, you have another cup of tea and a piece of bar. By supper time, your big meal that you're going to have is going to be reduced because you're so full on all these things. And at the same time of eating very little, you're actually full and you know that you've had all your nutrition that you need. So that is what I tell my folks. Who else has experienced the bar?
Yeah, I have.
Good. Okay, so that's the weight loss program. Now, what I've asked Sean to do is to just sort of summarize it in maybe a Jim McAfee. I don't know what you've done, Sean, just to give us sort of the scientific thing of this weight management program. It's a lifestyle thing. Thank you, Sean.
Okay, right. Yeah, there wasn't much with Jim McAfee, but we've got a couple of things in the back office that explain it quite nicely. And weight management is simple, not easy. And bottom line is, we need to balance energy intake with energy output. So if you're an athlete, you can afford to have a lot of carbs and a lot of proteins because you're burning it off very rapidly. If you're not very active, you need to balance it out accordingly. So if you listen to guys like Prof. Tim Noakes, he is a very big proponent for low carb, high fat or protein. Now, when it comes to carbs, we need carbohydrates. But the trouble with today's lifestyle is we're getting too many processed carbohydrates. We're having too many of the white flour, white sugar, white rice, white pasta, all the simple carbohydrates, whereas what we actually are needing is complex carbohydrates, because your brain is a glucose glutton of note. And often people who go on a diet and cut out all of their sugars and things like that lose their memory, they get forgetful, they just lose their energy as well, because your body is not getting the fuel that it needs. And the fuel is sugar. Now, when you talk about sugar, most people think of the white crystalline stuff that you're chucking in your coffee. Now, that is a simple carbohydrate, purely because they've taken the sugar cane, they've processed out the good stuff, they've processed out all the B vitamins, all the fiber, all the good things, and they've left behind the empty calories, which is your white crystalline sugar. Now, this is the same thing if you're having juice. You're having a very high sugar load with nothing to balance out. When you're eating raw foods, you're getting the glucose, you're getting the fructose, you're getting the lactose. Now, those are all sugars. Anything that ends in O's is sugar. But in nature, you'll find the sugar is complex because it is mixed with a vitamin, a mineral, a fiber, and fluid. So when man comes along and he processes out all of that stuff, we're left with the empty, heavy calories. Sorry, that's causing all the problem. So the low carb is simple, not easy. Your stone ground bread, for instance, is a lot more filling than your commercial bread that has had all the good stuff processed out of it, because your stone ground bread has still got your vitamin E, it's still got a lot of fiber, it's still got a lot of bran in it, and it goes off very quickly and easily. Whereas your commercial bread is still fresh a week down the line, because finance, this is the bottom line. So you've only got about 5 minutes left. So with your weight management, if you can balance out your carb intake, keep it within your burn, your fuel burn, for want of any better terminology. So if you are doing a lot of exercise, get your carbohydrates up a little bit more. If you are sitting in an office behind a desk all day, keep your carbohydrates as low as possible. And this is where the Neolife shake comes in with the protein. The shake and the bar are both very high on protein. And there's obviously poles apart, different discussions about supplements and all the rest of it. And they always tell you, you don't need to supplement because you can get everything you need from a balanced diet, which is true. But the question is, are you getting everything you need, and are you eating a balanced diet? And in 96% of cases, we're not. So you need to have your eggs, have your meat, have your steak, have your chicken, have your fish. Those are all good protein sources. But keep your empty carbs low. So your processed foods, get rid of it. Stay away from it. You're looking for your raw foods. Anything that is nature made by a plant is good. Made in a plant, no, it's bad. Oh, sorry, I still got an irritating cough over here. So with weight management, one has to, in my opinion, have 3 meals a day. You need a good breakfast, you need a good lunch, and you need a good balanced supper, but nothing too big. Simplest way, keep your plate size small. They've done scientific tests on that one, and simply by reducing the size of the plate, it sort of tricks the brain into thinking that you're eating more and you feel fuller. And this is exactly what happens with the Near Life Shake as well, is that they've got something inside there that tricks the brain into making you feel fuller for longer. Part of that is the fiber. So if you're having extra fiber, you are automatically going to feel fuller for longer. You're not going to be craving all those empty carbohydrates. And this is exactly what happens is your body, it loses nutrition because you're not getting the nutrients that it needs. So you end up with these cravings, and you grab the first easiest thing to give yourself that feeling of fullness, which is usually a junk snack or something along those lines. And that is where the weight starts to build on. Because if you're not burning off the energy, it's going to be stored in your system in the form of fat. And that's where amitone comes in, is it's burning off the excess, specifically the hard fat around the tummy area, because it's amino acids. So to really simplify this thing, and I mean, one can work on weight loss for weeks on end, but my feeling is there are some things I don't agree with Prof. Tim Noakes, but there's some things I do agree with. And he's proven time after time after time, he's got tons of research and scientific evidence to show that a low carb, high fat or protein diet works. And remember, there are no quick fad diets. If you're wanting to control weight, it is a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
you don't go on a diet for 3 months. It is a lifestyle change. Yes, genetics plays a big role. I've been well blessed because I've got an incredibly fast metabolism. I can have a big meal of pasta and mince, for instance, for supper, and 4 hours later I'll wake up in a cold sweat because that's my metabolism kicking in, and it's getting rid of all those empty carbs. I'm also blessed in that I'm active at work, so I am burning off a lot of energy during the day as well. But so genetics plays a big role, and there is no one size fits all for as far as diet is concerned. It's a case of watch your portion size, keep your carbohydrates low, keep your fat protein levels high, do some mild exercise, so meaning that take a walk around the block, take the stairs instead of the lift, and drink sufficient water during the day, and you will be okay. Now, I see we have less than a minute, so my apologies for no questions right now, but maybe we can carry this on Tuesday if you want to. Jenny, all yours.
Thank you, Sean. Yes, that's wonderful. Yeah, we've got to educate the public out there that it's a lifestyle, and we don't lose weight quickly because you're going to put it back on doubly fast.
Of course.
Because I say a diet is alles wat jy sien, die eet jy. That's what a diet is.